Minecraft is a game all about creativity and exploration. If you want to build something, the game gives you endless tools to make it happen.
Right.
If you want to explore, you have to choose a mode of transportation to get yourself around. A lot of the time, walking is enough to get by. But the Minecraft world is, without any exaggeration, enormous. If you want to go long distances, you will definitely need something faster. With the existence of Elytra
is definitely the best way to travel. I don't know how he's gonna find something better.
In the game, nearly every other mode of transportation becomes obsolete. The Elytra is simply too OP compared to anything else.
Yeah,
options like ice boating or minecarts may seem like viable alternatives, but both come with major drawbacks. Ice boating requires massive setup, and while minecarts with a max speed of just 8 blocks per second often aren't even worth the effort. In some cases, you're better off just walking.
This guy makes such high quality videos.
Were added to the game prior to the Elytra and haven't been updated ever since. If it wasn't obvious already, Minecraft has a serious transport.
What was that guy on the left? What was that?
And haven't been updated ever since. If it was
Oh, that's the Elytra. Oh,
it's an obvious.
Yeah, the Elytra's so OP.
Already.
Oh my gosh.
Has a serious transportation problem. In this video, I'm going to try and fix that. And there are only really two ways to approach it. Either nerf the Elytra or buff everything else. Since I don't want to ruin something as fun and iconic as the Elytra, I've instead decided to upgrade the other transportation methods to make them truly viable, even in the end game. It's a shame that these systems get completely ignored after a certain point, and don't even get me started on the mule, camel, or the llama. So that's why I'm giving horses, boats, and minecarts new mechanics and improvements, so they can finally rival the Elytra and earn a valuable place in the game, starting off with none other than the horse. Horses seem like a solid alternative to walking. If you are lucky enough to tame a moderately fast one that can also jump more than a single block, you can travel much more efficiently. You can even crossbreed horses to get a maxed out one. Though for most players, the effort probably isn't worth it. At first, horses seem like an okay method of transport, until you run into a body of water. Even the narrowest river can bring your journey to a complete stop. Oceans are even worse. You can't ride a horse through water, so unless you brought a boat and a lead, you're kinda stuck. And if you stumble across a cave and want to explore it, you either have to abandon your horse, dig a hole to keep it from wandering off, or tie it up and hope you find your way back later. All the time you save by riding the horse suddenly disappears as you're forced to problem solve around its limitations. And just like that,
horses are not even that bad.
Bro, like an inconvenience.
So let's get the Elytra's just way better.
That would make it a worthy competitor to even the Elytra. First off, let's start with the most obvious. Diamond horse armor should absolutely have a netherite upgrade. It makes no sense that players can upgrade their own gear to netherite, but not their horses. Alongside that, horse armor should be enchantable. Protection, blast protection, projectile protection, and even fire protection. All of it. But that's just the beginning. Horses should be able to carry more than just the player. Why not let us put a villager on the horse too? Mob transportation has always been a pain, especially in the late game. Being able to ride a horse with a mob passenger would make the horses not only faster, but also far more practical.
Guys, he obviously isn't reading chat. It's gonna ruin the reacts for the video. Yo, so why do you even type that, bro? Like, that's just not true.
I'm introducing a brand new equipment slot just for them. Like horse armor, horseshoes can be found in dungeons and come in iron, gold, diamond, and netherite tiers. Each tier makes your horse faster and able to jump higher. Even better, horseshoes can be enchanted. Feather falling to reduce
That's an amazing idea.
Fall damage, Frostwalker to let your horse run across rivers without slowing down, and Soul Speed to zoom across Soul Sand Valleys.
For the
With Frostwalker shoes, suddenly water isn't a problem anymore. You can just ride across the ocean. Horseshoes also come with a combat bonus, a trampling effect. When you ride through hostile mobs, they get knocked back and take damage. The stronger the shoes, the greater the knockback and damage dealt. But we are not done. Horses now have improved terrain handling. They can slowly swim through water instead of sinking, so you no longer have to dismount and panic every time you fall into a river or lake. They also handle forests much better. Horses can now clip through leaves horizontally while moving, allowing you to ride through the dense forest.
That's weird though. Should horses just go right through leaves? I don't think so, bro.
Without constantly getting stuck. And don't worry, they can still stand on top of leaves, so you won't fall through trees when going over a dark oak forest. But what about convenience? Horses are often a burden once you've reached your destination. You leave them tied to a fence and then forget where you parked. That's where the goat horn comes in. Right-clicking your horse with a goat horn links it to the horn. After that, simply right-click the horn anywhere and your horse instantly appears beside you.
Okay, that's not a terrible idea. I was thinking like, you ring the goat horn, it's like bum ba da, and then all the horses in the nearby area, they just like come to you. I feel like that would be more vanilla, but this is a cool idea too.
No matter where you are, you can now also throw an ender pearl to teleport the horse with you. And finally, the biggest, boldest, and probably most controversial change of all: wings on a horse. You can now place an elytra in your horse's armor slot.
Oh
in
my
exchange,
gosh.
the horse loses its armor protection, it gains wings. With the elytra equipped, your horse can double jump, gain a short burst of flight, and then glide through the air. It's not infinite flying, but it bridges the gap and it feels incredible. It would not be too OP.
Y'all like
since
this?
You can't fly
What do you guys think about
infinitely
this
with
one?
it, but it would certainly make them a viable option, especially for people who don't like
Genius.
having to use fireworks. Now, instead of abandoning horses once you get an elytra, you might just find they're the
No, this is trash. Why so toxic? Okay, yes, most of y'all. Okay, most of y'all are low-key saying no. Yeah. Oh, I don't know about wings on a horse.
perfect companion to enhance the flying experience. Next up on the list is the boat.
All right, let's see
Now,
the boat
boats in
upgrades.
Minecraft aren't
First off,
bad.
I already know lava boat. I don't know how else you're gonna upgrade it because you can't just enchant a boat. Like, what the heck?
In fact, they're pretty solid, especially with the recent addition of leashable boats. They get the job done efficiently.
What? Since when could you do that?
They're cheap, easy to craft, and accessible to everyone. For most players, boats are more than enough to cross oceans. But let's be honest, boat rides are kind of boring. So instead of just tweaking their mechanics, I wanted to make boats not only better, but more exciting. Let's start with functionality. Introducing the bubble jump mechanic. If you place soul sand deep underwater and ride your
This is
boat
W
over
video?
the
I
bubble
agree.
column it creates, your boat will be launched into the air. The deeper the soul sand, the higher the launch. This adds a new layer of creativity and
Wait, that's not already in the game. Did he just add that? Is that what he's adding?
movement to water travel. Next up, customization. You
Okay.
can now attach a banner
Yes,
to your boat,
yes.
turning it into a sailboat.
love that.
Not only can you proudly display your faction's banner, but the sail also gives your boat a speed boost. Now your boat doesn't just feel like a tool, it feels like a vessel. But
Okay.
why represent your faction at sea if there's no one to fight? Right now, the ocean is practically empty. The only threat is the occasional drowned. And let's be honest, they're no threat at all if you're in a boat. So I decided to fix that too. Introducing Illager Pirates. Villagers are
Wait, did you
supposed
see
to be
that
this
big
evil,
boat in the middle?
organized offshoot of villagers, it really doesn't make sense that they completely ignore the ocean. If they're trying to become a powerful force in the world, they would absolutely want control over the seas too. So now, while sailing across deep oceans, there's a small chance you'll be ambushed by a pirate patrol, essentially the ocean equivalent of an Illager patrol you encounter on land. These Illagers ride in boats, and just like their land-based cousins, they're after your loot and your life. Defeating a pirate patrol grants you the Bad Omen effect, just like normal patrols. If you approach a buried treasure chest while having Bad Omen, a pirate ambush is guaranteed.
A pirate
Much
raid.
like villager raids, pirate attacks come in waves. Get it? Waves? Ocean waves? Anyway, each wave brings stronger enemies and bigger boats. This introduces
go.
new boat types.
What the heck? That would actually be very cool to have. I would love. Also, do you guys realize how much effort was put into this video? He had to make custom pirate skins, all these custom boats. He had to set up the scenes. He had to put the pillagers in the boats. Like, the amount of effort that goes into every single second of this video is insane. Dude, Nekoma, this dude's gonna be massive one day. I already know it.
Medium
Oh my
boats and
gosh.
big boats that can carry up to 4 players or mobs.
He already is
Some
pretty
pirate
big,
ships
though.
are packed with
But
loot,
he's gonna be
others
way
with
bigger.
danger. You will also encounter new Illager variants, like the Captain Illager who has a parrot on his shoulder, and the standard pirate Illagers armed with crossbows, including modified versions that fire fireworks. I'm thinking that
Alright, I wanna
these
see the
bigger
boat.
variants like the medium and big boats should only be obtained by completing a pirate raid. That way they feel more exclusive and rewarding, instead of just something you can craft right away. To add to their rarity and make them truly collectible, pirate raids would also have a chance to spawn with boats made from different wood types. Imagine stumbling across a mangrove pirate fleet or getting attacked by cherry wood pirates, and after surviving the fight,
Yes,
you sail
the
away
boat.
with these unique, vibrant pink
Wait,
pirate
that is
boats as
actually
your
so
reward.
fire.
Each wood variant would immediately become a kind
Yo.
of trophy, but I'm still on the fence about whether they should only be obtainable by completing a pirate raid. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Should these boats be raid only, or should there be another way to obtain them?
I'm thinking raid only, bro. Raid only, because that makes it so much more rare and cool.
The big boat comes with some serious advantages. It can carry
Raid
up
only,
to 4
yeah.
players or mobs,
I agree.
making it great for multiplayer travel or mob transportation. You can also put 3 chests in it if you decide to sail across the ocean solo. It also supports
Yeah,
up to
raid
2
only,
banners,
yeah.
and the more banners it has, the faster it sails across the ocean. But sailboats and the medium and big boats aren't without their trade-offs. Yes, they're faster than regular boats, especially when fitted with banners, but that speed comes at the cost of maneuverability. A regular boat can rotate a full
Yeah,
360 360 degrees in
I like
about
that.
2.5 seconds.
I like that a lot.
Meanwhile, the big boat takes a full 7.5 seconds to complete the same turn. So now, players are faced with a real decision. Do you want raw speed for long distance sailing, or tight control for navigating rivers or fighting pirates? With an update like this, boats and especially ocean exploration
That would actually be an
become
amazing
way
update.
more interesting.
Yo, W's in the
boats,
chat
next
for this
major
guy.
obvious transport that needs an update is the minecart.
Was that cringy to say
Now,
W's
I
in the
have
chat?
already talked about the minecart
Okay, the
in my
minecart.
last video, but I would like to go more in depth about them and what could be done to thoroughly reshape the minecart experience. Minecarts have been in the game forever, and while the game has continuously evolved, minecarts have pretty much remained in the same state as they were when they were first added into the game. Perhaps the biggest issue with minecarts is that they are capped at a speed of 8 blocks per second, while something like boats on blue ice can reach a ridiculous speed of 73 blocks per second. The fact that minecarts require extensive setup but they are still trash makes it much more disappointing. Yes, Mojang did add a game rule to tweak minecart speed, but it's not really
that's not
practical
vanilla.
for survival players, and it doesn't do much to address the minecart's core issues. I think that the biggest concern people voiced for faster minecarts in the comments of my last video was that making minecarts faster would ruin many redstone contraptions out there, but I think I have the solution to the problem. First off, the most revolutionary change would be to chain minecarts together. You should be able to link up to 8 minecarts to form a proper train, allowing you to transport players and large quantities of items together across long distances. But chaining alone isn't enough.
That is the most simple change, but that makes so much sense. I love that idea.
That's why we also need to increase their top speed from 8 blocks per second to 48. Suddenly they're not just viable, but they're competitive. Next, add an acceleration meter to the minecart. A simple UI element that replaces the XP bar, similar to how it works when riding a horse. This meter would allow players to set and maintain a fixed speed. You would just hold down W briefly to accelerate to your desired speed, then release the key.
I think this is doing too much. I think, forget about this whole bar and everything. I think just, if you want to go faster, just hold W for as long as you want to go faster. Forget about this bar.
And the minecart would continue.
And if you hold W for a while, it'll eventually build up to like a super high speed. That's actually, dude, that's a great idea. Thank you. Why did I say thank you? This is his idea. Who am I talking to? Am I talking to you guys? Okay, let's just watch.
That pace automatically. And here's the important part. Minecarts only change speed when the player interacts with them. Existing redstone contraptions remain untouched. If you never touch the acceleration meter, your minecart will still move at the old 8 blocks per second. But let's be real, while old minecarts would more or less be untouched, relying on players to manually set the speed of every new minecart isn't exactly reliable, especially when it comes to hopper minecarts, which you cannot really change the speed of manually. Redstone machines often need to move at exactly 8 blocks per second to stay in sync, and any disruption could end up ruining the whole contraption. That's why I'm adding a brand new block, the copper rail. Right-click it to set a specific speed, and once activated,
this is too much.
Passes over it.
In my opinion, this is doing too much. I think just you can only change the speed of a minecart that you're already in, and then when you get out, it goes back to default. Like there's not an automatic speed, or maybe just make it so that if there's a singular railroad track with no turns that goes straight for a long time, it eventually just goes to a super high speed. No, you don't need to control anything. It's just regular.
Automatically switch to that speed without requiring player input. Think of it as an automatic speed controller. You can even pair it with a delayed redstone signal to stop a train at a station for a few seconds before sending it off again. This opens the door for fully automated.
Or maybe the more gold rails you have, the faster it goes. So if it's just like fully jam-packed of all golden rails, it'll be the fastest.
Train networks with precise programmable timing,
what do y'all think?
All without breaking existing redstone contraptions. Now you can calibrate minecarts to move at your exact desired speed while keeping your old machines running just as they always have. You could accelerate or decelerate at will, whether it is automatically or manually, making this perfect for long distance or even AFK travel without needing constant input. Now for accessibility. Rail crafting needs an update. You now get 16 powered rails instead of 6 and 32 regular rails instead of 16. This makes building tracks more accessible and less grindy, especially in early survival.
Okay,
and finally, let's
cheaper.
rework the furnace minecart. Instead of the furnace minecart, replace it with the blast furnace minecart. This new variant would run on any fuel, including lava buckets, and come with a fuel meter for easy tracking. Just attach it to the front of your train and it powers everything behind it without the need for powered rails. But if you do use powered rails, you can push the speed even further, up to 64 blocks per second. With a few key changes, minecarts could once again become one of the most exciting and customizable transportation systems.
I swear
in
nobody uses minecarts
in
normal survival. Everyone either just runs, walks, and then eventually they just use their elytra.
Comments what you think about these
This would be
changes.
fire.
And which transportation system would you want to see get an overhaul most? And what you liked most from the video.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So much for watching.
Yo, W video. This guy is one of the best YouTubers in Minecraft right now. Dude,
really
everybody subscribe to this guy.
And if you haven't,
yeah, and do what he's saying. Drop a like on his video. Subscribe to him. He has 100. When he made this video, he has 132. Now he's at 183. Yo, he's actually growing fast. Yo, W. Everybody subscribe to this guy.
Check out my previous videos.
And watch his previous videos. Yo, W guy.